all the slides which I created for this presentation. I will stop with 20 odd slides where I will be talking about energy accounting per se. Mr. Bibhuji spoke about energy cost accounting by and large by talking about buying private power and supplementing your other purchases through the utilities. I will be sticking to the energy accounting per se with respect to KVA, KVAR and KWH kind of thing. So I will quickly go into this presentation. 2-3 slides I will try to put, you're all energy professionals, I know. I'm just trying to put you in the picture. 2-3 slides only, not much. Most of you know that in 1947, we were mostly agriculture-based economy, and our country's whole country's production or generation of power was just 1362 megawatt. It has grown to 382,000 megawatt as of 31/3/2021. Slightly more, approximately 390,000 megawatt as of 31/3/2022, latest figure. So most of the growth in the new power generation capacity has happened thanks to our country becoming an industrialized nation. Just for putting you in the picture, today Chennai's energy requirement is about 2,500 megawatt. National capital region comprising of Delhi and then the nearby cities, satellite cities, is around 11,500 to 12,000 megawatt during summer months. So with that information, you can visualize that this 1362 was a very dismally low figure, and from virtual darkness, the country has now risen to self-reliance, and most of the villages are now electrified and so on. What is important for us to know is that we are growing into an urbanized nation. So the urbanization is going to drive the next 10-12 years of requirements. By 2030, there are enough indications available that our power generation will grow to approximately 2 times the present level, 817,000 megawatt as per the Central Electricity Authority. So with the pace of population growth and also the demand for electricity, the need for new generation capacities are rising. At the same time, what is important for all of us to understand is that energy efficiency per se is going to provide a certain amount of relief from installing new capacities. So that is very important in that sense, and therefore we go forward and listen to what actually happened in the 20th century. Whatever that the world population exhausted till the 19th century, the equal amount they exhausted in 100 years, that is in the 20th century. So 20th century, as you all know, is a highly industrialized activity and so on. So therefore we exhausted a lot of earth resources. You will find that approximately coal available reserve is only for about 130 years. Similarly, oil reserve is available for the next 50 years and not much. But what is abundantly available is the non-conventional energy like biomass, solar, wind, and nuclear, etc. So most of the new generation capacities, therefore, will have to come from these kind of sources of energy. You will recall Government of India coming with 175,000 megawatt of new and renewable energy in the year 2018-19, which they conveniently and comfortably achieved in 2020-21 itself. Now newer targets are assumed by the Government of India for solar, wind, and so on. With this slide, I would like to complete this formality of putting you in the picture. What is even more dangerous is the availability of potable water. Already you all know the amount of potable water is less than 2% of the total water available in the world. Potable, when I say, is what you can directly tap, take it from the tap and drink. You can't afford to do that in India and most of the towns and cities and villages. And therefore, this is the danger that is lurking in the corner. We will not be able to leave potable, good quality water for the next generation, because before the oil runs out or the coal runs out, good potable clean water will definitely run out. So we have collectively a responsibility to take care of the next generation. And with this, I will move into what I have come to present here. This is basically the inverted funnel approach. Bottom of the pyramid here is the energy analysis or energy accounting, followed by energy conservation, and then the energy efficiency, and the time of use management and adopting renewable energy are at the top of the pyramid. So I am today going to start with some 20 plus slides talking about energy analysis or energy accounting. The slides, 58 slides in total. I'll make them available to the organizer. Mr. Bibhu Swain will probably receive it via WhatsApp because it's almost 20 MB file size. I can't mail it. I'll send it to him by WhatsApp. He can either share as WhatsApp in itself or send it from his WhatsApp web and then to his laptop and so on. So I'm going to limit today's presentation to energy accounting or energy analysis. Energy accounting, simple. You're all practicing energy specialists, so I'm not going to bore you with the description for energy accounting, but it's important for us to understand what do we mean by energy accounting. Energy bill in India are either in kWh or in kVh. Most of the states have adopted kVh billing for active energy consumption and kVA for demand charges. So you will see two main components in the power bill will be the kWh or kVH and the demand charges for contracted demands, kVA. Energy accounting will address power factor management, demand optimization, and harmonic management for true PF if applicable. Some states have gone for true PF. Some states have simply stated that they will be using kVAH billing. I am today coming from Andhra Pradesh. I traveled 200 kilometers in the evening just in time to reach this program, start of this program. So in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, as you know, kVAH billing is there. In many industries, this kVAH billing also includes distortion power factor. Not only displacement power factor, it also includes distortion power factor, about which I have discussed in one slide. As I discussed at that time, I will expand and then you'll be able to understand that. So energy accounting will also include specific energy based on production data. So whenever we talk about energy consultants being hired and energy efficiency being addressed, the energy accounting will have to be expanded to include the productivity, and therefore a specific energy comparison will have to be done. Energy conservation, as you all know, is basically the approach to optimizing the use of process and equipments to lower the energy usage. What you do not require, you put it off, or you stagger it or transfer it to another time of the day when the energy bill is lower. For example, we have night hour concession 5%. So certain activities could be processed at that time, so as to get the maximum benefit out of optimizing the energy cost. So adopting alternate or additional source of power can be advocated by use of energy conserving energy. So fuel mix or even buying power, third-party power like Mr. Bibhu was trying to explain, can also be included. So fixing leaks using maximum daylights and lowering heat losses can be addressed in most of the studies that are being offered towards energy conservation. While energy efficiency actually talks about adopting new technologies that require less energy to perform the same function through an audit. So audit provides a detailed implementation plan for a facility since it evaluates all major energy using systems. This type of audit offers the most accurate estimate of energy saving and includes detailed energy cost saving calculations and project cost. Typically, an energy auditor is not easily welcome in an industry. People tend to think that an energy auditor, or for that matter, any type of auditor, is an interference. They are inserting themselves in a regular process about which the existing maintenance or the people who are in charge of energy accounting, they know how to do it. But then the fact remains that a third eye is always required to study a system differently and then assist the existing people in the maintenance department to undertake, measures by which they will be able to reduce or optimally use the energy. So energy accounting, it mostly helps in reducing KVA and KVAR. We are all aware of this power triangle. We are all aware of this power triangle where the hypotenuse is the KVA, the base is the power in kilowatt, active power, and the adjacent side is the reactive power. We know about this. The power factor will decide the angle at which the KVA is deviating from the kilowatt. While you receive the supply, you receive KVA and KVA and kilowatt are equal. It is only the inductive loads which, when we use, the deflection takes place by an angle of cos phi. So therefore, reactive power grows, and we need to do a compensation service. So therefore, when we talk about reducing KVA and KVAR, we will be addressing energy cost. See, actually today, I've taken a few cases as an example. If you see this industry where we did an audit, during morning hours when the shift starts, when most of the equipments are started, the KVA registers the maximum. But you see the window max and you see the average. The average for one day, this is a full day, 2019, 4:31 p.m. to 4:31 p.m. Next day. So this is 24 hours window. In this window, you will notice that the average is only 1.232 MVA, 1232 kVA. Whereas there is a peak registered during this time, which I have put in a red box, which is 2086 MVA. So if we know how to stagger this load, 15 minutes is the integration period. If we know how to stagger this load and minimize this, the demand, we would have probably, optimally paid for the demand charges. So this is one sample which I thought I will share in a meeting like this. For any energy auditing study, I recommend very strongly that at the main transformer incoming, whether it is a power transformer or a distribution transformer at the incomer, a 24-hour study is very important to understand the profile of the energy consumption in a day, typical day. And then with this information, we should call the concerned production and electrical people to sit down and understand how this can be staggered so that the demand is not registering in this fashion. Now, I also have another case, again a 24-hour data window, where we notice that at 7:20 a.m. when they started a chiller, which is the biggest load in a child hospital in Chennai, we notice that there is a spike, there is a peak KVA. For example, here the average for the window for that one full day was 288 KVA, whereas the maximum registered at that time, as you can see the spike here, was 532 KVA. So you are paying in Tamil Nadu, for example, 375 rupees or 350 rupees per KVA as the demand charges. So approximately, if you know how to stagger this, or if you use a soft starter or a VFD for the chiller, this is a star delta starting. So we recommended to this hospital to go for a device with which they will be able to reduce the starting KVA demand, so that they will be able to surrender the KVA, reduce the amount of money they are paying on the demand charges. So just as an example, like I said, a 24-hour window will always reveal when actually the peak happens. I have a transient put tariff here. The tariff is available for each state utility. I'm sure from whichever state you belong, you will be able to pick up this and then keep it in front of you in the state that you are actively involved as a energy auditor, so that you are able to categorize customer based on how they are using the information. Now, if you notice here, I've used one case study here for bringing out this information. Industries not covered under LT3A and LT3A2 If the connected load of all industries in LT3A and LT3A2 connected load exceeds 12 kilowatt, welding sets, etc. So this is for 3B for an industry which is approximately 112 kilowatt connected load. LT industry, where the transformer is not owned by the consumer. The transformer is provided by the utility, and the LT load is taken by the small scale industry up to 112 kilowatt. The price they are paying is 6 rupee 35 paisa in Tamil Nadu. Mr. Swain was showing 585 or something like that in Orissa, which is quite less. In Tamil Nadu for HT, the tariff is 6 rupee 93 paisa, considering all slots in a day. So for LT industry, it is 635 plus 70 rupees per kilowatt a fixed charge is paid. If, for example, you have a 112 kilowatt, then you will be paying 112 multiplied by 70 as fixed charges, plus the actual consumption at 6 rupee 35 paisa. The reason why I'm showing this is because I wanted to discuss about, I've shown another AP Andhra Pradesh, tariff. For industry, it is 670 plus 75 per kilowatt. So these are the HT supply tariffs. So if you go forward, I'm showing you one case study where in a LT consumer, like 3B, which I've mentioned here, the 3B LT consumer in Tamil Nadu, he was paying a penalty. This is a power bill for 21 months. He was paying penalty for low power factor. He was not even aware that he was paying penalty for power factor, because he was getting a bill, small scale industry, every month he was making the bill payment. So we did a study, took out all this information and showed to him that he has to manage his power factor throughout the day. It is a single shift industry or a general shift industry. During the nights, they don't have any load, and they have one naked lamp only in the nights, and the power factor is very, very poor. So what we did was, we did a small survey. These are leading power factors, as you can see here, minus, these are all leading power factors. So we did a small survey, again, for one day. And then we found out that a fixed 3 kVAR, we connected a fixed 3 kVAR, even that was resulting in a leading power factor. So 5 kVAR detuned APFC was recommended here. We are in the process of installing this and ensuring that the little bit of harmonic that is there in the system does not unnecessarily create a problem for the power factor. And you will be surprised to know that I was able to find 5 numbers, 1 kVAR and 1 kVAR equivalent reactor. There is a manufacturer in Bangalore who provided the reactor. So we put a detuned APFC of 5 kVAR, simple LT industry, but this will give them relief from headache. And look at the amount of money. They were spending approximately 1,30,000 in 21 months. So this is how we manage small loads. Even LT industries should address power factor and leading power factor in the state of Tamil Nadu today, because the utility is charging them for leading power factor also. So this is again a commercial industry, commercial data center, 11 kV supply HT. They are paying 8 rupees per unit as the charges. So here, this industry had power factor of 0.9, which they are supposed to maintain, but they maintained only 0.88. They were less by 0.2, and that cost them a penalty. So we worked with them. We worked with data of power factor as well as the harmonics. Then we came with a solution where we suggested to them a reduction of 5th order harmonic, so that the leading power factor does not happen. See, now in most of the data centers, people use VRV Daikin air conditioners, package air conditioners, LED bulbs, and even lifts are with VFDs. What happens in the process? You have a leading power factor, and with the utilities now capturing and charging for the leading power factor also, we spend the industry or the data center spends unnecessarily money on leading power factor. So you have to give them a solution. The solution we offered actually, D20 APFC is already available, but what we recommended was a SVG, static var generator. That is option 1. This client is on a rented place, so he suggested I will take a static var generator, take care of my leading power factor. But in the near future, with the TNERC coming back once again with the revised harmonic limits and penalty in Tamil Nadu, they may have to go for active harmonic filter. So here, since the client has a rented building, the owner of the building will spend the money, a small amount of money, on providing a static var generator and ensuring that the leading power factor does not cause any penalty in the power bill. But if the building is owned and long-term benefit of controlling the harmonic as well as the power factor has to be addressed, then the active harmonic filter is the best choice available. These are the 2 recommended solutions. I'm also using a case study which we successfully implemented in 2015 in Andhra Pradesh, where, as you know, we have this kVAH billing. This was a multinational company, FMCG, and this company had 33 kV supply coming from the grid. They had detuned APFC already installed, in their plant. But what happened was they had frequent failures of PCBs. So the approach of the customer to us was to basically address the PCB failure and give them relief from that failure, because this was causing a lot of production losses. So they had 4 chillers, they had a compressor, standby generator, and 10 MCCs. Each MCC had multiple outgoing, and each MCC was addressing a group of machineries. So 10 sets of machineries being managed by 10 MCCs. So when we did the analysis, we found out that the damage was being caused by a circulating voltage harmonic, which was caused by a leading current harmonic. So we put an active harmonic filter for each of the MCCs at the incomer, preventing a rise in current harmonic and also distribution of voltage harmonic to parallel branch circuit. So when we did this exercise, that means there are 10 numbers of 60 ampere active harmonic filter, 4 numbers of 60 ampere active harmonic filter for the VFD driven chillers, and 2 numbers of 300 ampere active harmonic filters. So since they already had one level of harmonic avoiding harmonic amplification, we resorted to the active harmonic filter to prevent parallel branch circuits being infected by the circulating harmonics. So when we complete, I had an opportunity to talk to them. They haven't had major failures of PCBs after we gave the solution. So almost every year they have 50 lakhs of saving, 50 lakhs rupees worth of saving from preventing the PCBs. And if you look at this, the full day again audits we carried out, you will notice that from something like 19.4% total harmonic distortion, with the solution that we gave and you saw in the previous slide, we brought down the active harmonic, brought down the total harmonic distortion to 3.6%, from something around 19.4% to 3.6%. Now, what was the benefit? I already mentioned to you about the PCB failure getting reduced. Additionally, we also had energy saving. I'll explain this to you, but before I explain the energy saving using management of harmonics, I want to introduce you to a new power triangle concept. We all know that kVA is equal to square root of kilowatt square plus kVAR square. We know this power triangle relationship. But the new power triangle now takes into consideration displacement power factor as well as distortion power factor caused by the harmonic. So the new power triangle, the formula kVA is equal to square root of kW square plus kVAR square plus distortion power square. Now we have meters which are capable of measuring all the 3 parameters and arriving at the true power factor and therefore the kVA. wherever in the states that people have gone for kVAH billing, if the distortion power is also considered in the trivector meter and penalties, instead of penalties, if you are getting a kVAH increasing compared to kWH, then you have a choice of addressing the distortion power factor as being the cause of this increment in kVAH per se. So again, I suggest use a good quality power analyzer at the point of common coupling. Use it for 24 hours. Download the data and analyze, including kilowatt, kVAR, and the distortion power, D square. So this is very important. So when we did this exercise for the same customer, where we gave them almost 50 lakhs of saving from failed PCB components, we also found out that there is a reduction in the difference between kVAH and kWH. If you notice here, I have just put it in the red box. You will notice that from something like 610 units every day being the difference between kVAH and kWH, we brought it down thanks to reduction in the total harmonic distortion current to 140. You can make it 0. So the annual saving when we worked out, it was 1,69,200 units, or approximately 10 lakh rupees per annum. So this is a direct, tangible cost saving because of the management of harmonics. The indirect cost saving is reduction in the PCB, and still more better cost saving is the reduction in the productivity loss. When you avoid failure, your productivity is much higher, and your machine uptime is higher, and therefore the losses can be much lower. So this is one example I thought I'll share with you. I have almost come to the end of the presentation. Like I told you, there are 58 slides, but I'm going to stop with this slide. I inserted this in between because when I was talking to Mr. Bibhu Swain, he told me that today's program starting at 8 should more or less end at 9, so that you have 10-15 minutes to interact with me, and therefore I put the last coach in the middle. This slide is supposed to be in the end, but I put it here. My expectation is that you will make contacts with me in case you need me to elaborate or expand some of your understandings on this topic. I have given you my LinkedIn ID, I have given you my mail ID, I have given you my contact number. I'll be very happy to take questions here and also in the future, depending on which area you work and where I'll be able to contribute and assist you and support you. Thank you, Mr. Bibhu. You may kindly take over and open the session for question and answers.
Thank you, sir. It is a very nice presentations, and really I am overwhelmed to see the data accounting analysis, and I really very difficult jobs, and I am quite happy you are continuing with all your good work. And as I told you, energy auditing is a very difficult professions, and also it is a good paying professions for those who normally handles and do a good job. And challenges are there, and knowledge operations is always required. Now, sir, one question by T.K. Krishna Kumar ji. He wanted to know, when more active filters are introduced in the system, when loads are reduced during different times, whether these active filters will act as a light, as a load, right? That is the point you want to make, whether the active filters are dynamic in nature or not.
Yeah, active filters are actually dynamic. Between 10% to 95% load, they automatically adjust their output. And you also know that active harmonic filters have their own losses, system losses, because they are also IGBT devices. What they do is actually they pump anti-harmonic current into the system to cancel the current harmonic. So while doing this, approximately 3% losses are there in the system. But no worry, if the load is partial, the harmonic filter pumping anti-harmonic current will also be suitable or according, because they compare the total amount of harmonic and then pump only such amount of harmonic that is required to cancel the reactive harmonic in the system.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Now, another question by Pradeep Sharma ji. What is the time use of energy management in energy pyramid slides shown?
What is the?
What is the time use of energy management in energy pyramid slides shown? I'm also not able to get. Sri Sharma, can you unmute yourself and
Well,
ask the question?
actually, one slide was shown wherein the energy accounting, then energy conservation, energy management, and one before at the apex of the pyramid, there was renewable energy. So in between that, it was written like time use of management. So that I did not get actually.
Yeah, sir. I think I mentioned it in one of the slides where I said, you can stagger a peak load to another part of the day so that your KVA does not register high. This is basically work study in an industry. Electrical people are there to only provide the support, right? Similarly, mechanical, but it is the process engineers who will have to get involved in staggering or using time study or work study in the factory to ensure that they don't I don't know if I can give you some examples. For example, in Tamil Nadu, in a textile industry, there is a particular load which does not have to operate the whole day. So what they do is they operate it for 4 or 5 hours and stop the machine. Similarly, in cement, limestone kiln, if you have a 1,000-ton crusher, it is sufficient. If it's a 7,000-ton project, it is sufficient that you operate it only for 2 shifts, not all day. This is what I'm saying. Therefore, not only the electrical utility people, it is also the process that gets involved in managing the time of use for energy in a plant. This was the idea of my putting it there.
Okay, you mean to say that we have to stagger the utility, whatever energy consumables are there, so that we can have the lower demand at a point of time.
Correct. Sir, actually, I'll tell you one more thing, sir. If most of the people here are electrical engineers, I want to ask one question. Why is it only electrical engineers are responsible for energy conservation? Why not the rest of the faculties like mechanical,
actually,
instrumentation?
When come in at mind energy, they just related only electrical engineers.
Correct.
But there is a major part is the thermal energy.
Correct.
Chemical energy, and there is a major even the electrical form is a more efficient, convenient to transfer, storage, everything. But thermal energy and other form of energy have a losses, major loss.
Absolutely. That is the idea. So my idea of inviting other faculties also,
Yes,
other engineers also to participate. That was the idea. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, sir. In fact, time of day tariff is required, and if you see current demand, we have 4 lakh installed capacity, 4 lakh megawatt of installed capacity in India, but we are not able to. We have generated almost 2.07 lakh megawatt. Till now, there is a scarcity. Therefore, demand side management, demand response, time of day tariff are important. And regarding energy audit, we call it in IAEMP, energy conservation is first, has to be done. And after that, energy efficiency, that means by putting money, energy efficiency appliance has to be built. Then after that, renewable energy. So that 3 pyramids shows the foundation as energy conservation, then energy efficiency, then renewable energy. That is also in the logo of IAEMP. Now coming, sir, there are a lot of good words for you, and of course, and Manaji and Daveji, lot of everybody has appreciated the response. Valyaji also, Qureshi sir, thank you. Now coming to, there are few people have requested for PPT. Sir, as per the virtual academic policy, for those paid members who are reported 200 rupees, definitely we shall share both the PowerPoint presentations. And we request kindly, there is a link has been given, shared in all the social media. kindly make the payment, and it will help us to help IAEMP to continue the good work in future also. Now coming to another questions, Krishna sir, yes, you have a query on 1 megawatt. ST Industries also eligible to do power trading in Odisha. Currently, we are helping few generators. Also open the market for Odisha for ST Industries. So definitely for Maharashtra and other area, ST Industries can also go for power trading, but it is state's policy. So we need to see the state regulatory provision for that. Now coming to another. Yes, you can be life member of IAEMP. There is a fee of 6,000 rupees. There is a question on query on life membership.
Thank you, sir. I have joined recently. I have paid the money also.
Yes,
And
yes.
I get the membership card and
Balbir sir will do that. And Balbir sir is also doing a good work, spreading knowledge, helping the prospective energy auditors to become energy auditor. He is building, he has one academy, helping all the prospective aspirant for CA, SCM examinations. And sir, thank you. We have received the payment. And
thank you very much, sir.
and we have received the payment, and it is wonderful to see that.
Today I am impressed by the presentation with JS sir and yourself. And I want to become a part of this association. Definitely, and I put my energy effort.
And IAEMP, we require all conscience keeper. Definitely, through your membership, through your participation, definitely will grow. Now, Balia sir, thank you for your kind words. Surendra sir, now everybody is very happy. Poonam ji, our secretary of Delhi chapter, she has
yes, sir. I have to say one or 2 points.
Sir, Agrawal sir, please. Kindly.
Yes, sir. Yes. Now, regarding the power trading, sir, what I have seen in many discount companies, they are discouraging this power trading because their profitability goes down. In Maharashtra also, up to year 2017, it was profitable. Thereafter, they increased the cross subsidy surcharge. They introduced the additional surcharge 1.27 rupees. Cross subsidy surcharge is also 2 rupees. Wheeling charges, it goes around 4 rupees as additional money we have to pay per unit to the discount. Now it is good for the generating companies, but for consumer, it is not possible. Only alternatives left here in Maharashtra is only renewable energy we can source from the other place on group captive basis. There only we are getting the consumer is getting about 1 rupees benefit in captive, basically on captive generation basis. Otherwise, this bilateral is completely stopped. This power exchange trading is also completely stopped in Maharashtra.
Completely agree with you, sir. Well said points. This regulation is yearly basis, and definitely it is a cat and mouse game. Now, Act says that cross surcharge has to be reduced progressively.
Yes.
Now, if the intention of regulator is to increase the cross surcharge only to profiteering the discount in the interest of consumer, against the interest of consumer, then there is a violation of Act. Definitely, there is a provision for appeal. In Odisha also it was happening. We are a regular participant in the regulatory tariff determination processes, and we advise participants in the hearing and see that cross subsidy surcharge progressively has to go down. And it is happening in Odisha. I think industry association has to raise their voice, because Section 66 of the Electricity Act 2003 says that you have to encourage competition by increasing CSS, cross surcharge, wheeling charges, and additional surcharge. You cannot kill the market. You have to open the market. So market definitely will be opened up. And yes, sometimes you cannot do trading, but sometimes you will be doing. It is a yearly seasonal business. So definitely there is huge scope in e-search trading, REC trading, in all the national carbon market trading. You are correctly said that power trading as far as electricity is concerned, definitely in this 12 rupees or 8 rupees tariff, it is not possible, but there is certain scope for group captive and REC trading.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, I think Sunil Kumar ji has one question: whether any restriction imposed by DISCOM for harmonic distortion limit in Tamil Nadu or in Andhra Pradesh? Charan sir, would like to take up that question?
I have already answered in the chat box. See, actually in Tamil Nadu, TNERC is in the process of issuing an amendment to the regulation now. CEA has come with the regulation amendment in 2019. 6th February 2019, the amendment was published with the timeline of 1 year for implementing. But you know what happened? We had Corona and other disturbances. Also, many people went to the court asking for a stay, particularly in Tamil Nadu, for 11 kV and 22 kV. But that has all been lifted, and TNERC is ready to publish a revised regulation. It may not be 15% like last, when it came in 2013. 15% is not sustainable, but TNERC will be recommending a much lower, penalty tariff. That will be there in Tamil Nadu until Tamil Nadu is able to change over to kVAH billing. Tamil Nadu has not done it. They are giving some reasons. But otherwise, Ministry of Power has given directive to all states to change over to kVAH billing. Maharashtra has done it recently. They have a mixed bag, both kVAH as well as some penalty they have mentioned. Today I heard from one consumer in Andhra Pradesh that they are planning, already they are kVAH, they are planning a penalty. This is probably because the tri-vector meters are not configured in some industries to take care of the distortion power factor. So that may be the reason why they are thinking about, penalty like similar to what they are charging in Tamil Nadu. But then the future is not only managing PF, also managing harmonic. That will be the future in our country. Because harmonic is pollution. We can't pollute the grid. That is the reason.
But sir, currently perhaps there is no harmonic distortion penalty in any of the state in the nations.
Except Tamil Nadu, yes. Maharashtra has talked about it.
Whether Tamil Nadu has harmonic distortion penalty is there, or kVAH billing is something different. In Odisha, we have implemented kVAH billing there these times, and but we don't have any harmonic distortion penalty. I don't think.
Apart from Tamil Nadu, I think Maharashtra spoke about it. I don't know whether they are really implementing it.
No, definitely with a lot of coming into picture, a lot of mobile chargers, a lot of DC drives. So harmonic grid being polluted. So definitely is there a new game. Harmonic distortion penalty may come up in future. So there is huge scope for harmonic. Charan sir was told about harmonic filter, active filter, passive filter. But yes, it has time. It will take some time.
Yeah. Mr. Sunil Kumar wants to say something. I heard.
Yes, sir. My name is Sunil Kumar. Sir, actually, harmonic means actually there is no regulation actually. Now we are following is IEEE 519. I think that is they specifying this 5%. I think total harmonic distortion. But in India, I think still we have not introduced any standard for this harmonic distortion. That is the main problem. Okay, actually, I am from Kerala, KCB. Here also another problem is how to measure this harmonic. Actually, there is a problem. Harmonic limit measurement is also we have to. It should be. I think we have to do it continuously. It cannot be read on instantaneously and all, and we have to keep separate process actually for this measurement of harmonic. That's another problem. Anyway, I think that yeah.
Sunil, what is your interest? Are you a consumer? Or are you a auditor?
Yes, sir. I am an auditor and I am presently working in KFCB, Kerala.
Oh, good. Sir, I'll tell you, IEEE 519/2014 is the applicable standard as per CEA in the 2019 amendment.
IEEE 519 is now following actually. Since in India we have still not introduced any standard.
No, it is introduced. It is introduced. By virtue of this penalty, Tamil Nadu ensured that we people learnt it quickly. I started practicing harmonic management since 2013-14. So I am a kind of a veteran with almost 8-9 years experience. This is point one. Point two, apart from this CEA regulation, which I mentioned to you in 2019, apart from the harmonic, they are also talking about IEEE 1159, which is for the power quality, largely talking about voltage quality. There are many states which are now discussing IEEE, implementation of IEEE 1159. So what I think we should do, sir, since you are from the utility yourself, I will either connect you to some experts in this field, or the preliminary informations I can share with you. My request is, I don't know if you noted down my mobile number. If you did, kindly send me a message. I will share some slides with you, with which you will be able to build your next level of knowledge.
Okay. Power quality is also a major issue, sir. Actually, I think
Correct.
the major problem is because of this harmonic only. Power quality is.
Recently, we had a program where one of my gurus, he traveled to Kerala to make a presentation to KSEB engineers.
Sir, whether I have one query. Whether in Tamil Nadu they have changed the meters to note down the harmonics, or how they bill it?
No, actually, Tamil Nadu has not done anything on the meters. There is no online monitoring of harmonic, but they purchased.
That is a problem. That is a problem.
They purchased 46 Fluke 435 Class A edition 2 meters. With the new regulation, which I am now mentioning to you from CEA, new regulation says that edition 2 is no longer valid. They have to go for edition 3, which is available in the market. So now Tangent Co in Tamil Nadu is caught, catch 22 position. They are unable to dispose of the 46 numbers of Fluke 435 and purchase a newer version of Class A meters. So that is also mentioned in the regulation. So those of you interested in reading the regulation, I can share the entire regulation in WhatsApp. So IAEMP can perhaps think about selectively sharing with people.
No, sir, definitely. Yes, we'll have a separate session on that also. We can do a good session, good amount of sessions in our virtual academy on the particularly tariff regulations, because that will be very interesting for all to know as an energy auditor and an energy professional.
Correct.
We do collectively a session on that. So it is almost time, 9:30, and everybody, we think we have answered all the queries. It is a very nice presentation by Charan sir, and thank you all participants. We are really thankful you hooked up from 8 to 9:30. Listen to us. I hope through IAEMP you have gained certain knowledge. Have get some awareness program. Definitely will carry this good work in future. We'll carry out similar sessions and see that we do good amount of power trading, good amount of technical appliances deployment, and do a good work for the benefit of the nation, society, and for all of ourselves. Thank you, sir. Good night. Charan sir, thank you very much for your kind presence and your presentation.
Yeah. Thank you. I also wish to thank everybody for coming here and listening to me. Thank you. Look forward to future programs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
On the camera, so I looked right into the camera, and then I looked to my bottom right, and I'm like, wait, the report button there.